We're going to go ahead and start at T-spawn here. When it comes to T-spawn, there are only 5 possible spawns. There is no variance, so you are always going to get one of these. I wouldn't even specifically remember the locations of these. I would simply just remember far left to far right. See how you kind of match against your other teammates that are spawned. For the 3 middle ones, if you're newer to the map and you're not 100% sure, just look to your right and left, look at your teammates' spawns, and you're going to be able to figure it out. For the video's sake, we're going to say this is spawn 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For spawn 5, you're going to be looking directly at this big blue container. The whole top of it is rusty. At the bottom center of it, you're going to see this dark line. When you're not zoomed in, it's going to look like 2 dark dots. You can see one right here. It's going to thin out, and there's going to be another one here. Again, when you're zoomed out. So put your crosshair on that second dark dot. You're going to run jump throw, and when your horizontal guide is right at this line, you're going to jump throw. So again, dark spot, shift over, dark spot, sprint jump throw. Spawn 4, which is the second to the right. I will say that it is a little strange. I'm not sure if it's the game's issue, the clipping with the map, or it's my settings. But if you look at this sign right under it, you're going to see this big slab of silver. But when you zoom in, it's just normal rails. So regardless of what you see on your end, basically just go in the middle of where the T is, the bottom of the T is, and the top of the roof is, just right in the middle. From there, you're just going to run jump throw. When your crosshair hits this horizontal line of the blue canister container, that's when you're going to jump throw. So again, in the middle right there, jump throw. From spawn 3, which is going to be the middle of the spawns, as well as the furthest forward spawn, you're going to look at the right garage here, but specifically the top left. From the very top left, you're just going to go a little bit to the left of that. Nothing too crazy. You don't need a scope gun to do it. Again, just left, tiny bit, just a couple pixels. Now, you're going to run jump throw when your horizontal indicator hits the very middle of these windows. That's when you're going to jump throw. So, corner, a little bit to the left, run jump throw. From spawn 2, which is second to the left, you're going to look at pretty much the same area, slightly different. It's going to be this little, I don't know what this is, electrical aspect on top of the first garage. You're going to look at the top right corner. This doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to sprint and jump when your horizontal crosshair indicator hits the top of the garage. So again, top right. And lastly, on T side, we have spawn 1, which is the furthest to the left. Pretty similar to spawn 4 there. You're going to look up and find the red sign. Instead of the T, though, you're going to go over here to what looks like a B. I have no idea what this character actually is, but we're just going to call it a B. And rather than looking in between the B and the top of the roof, you're actually going to look at the top of the roof by itself. But you're going to do it right under the vertical section of this B looking character. So right there, you're going to run jump throw. When your horizontal crosshair indicator hits the top of this rusty sign, that's when you're going to jump throw. So again, the vertical section of the B, very base towards the roof, run and jump throw. And that is going to be all 5 spawn smokes for Z on T side. Let's get into the CT side now. Alright, so taking a look here at CT spawn. CT spawn is kind of a weird one, like I was talking about before. As you can see, there are only 4 spawn points. Well, where's the 5th one? The 5th one is that ghost spawn, or what I call a ghost spawn. That 5th player is going to spawn somewhere completely random within the radius of the spawn room. I don't believe anyone can spawn behind like the shelving units or the cafeteria shelving things there, but always around this area. So it's completely random. Memorizing these ones, a little bit more difficult, but still pretty easy. You're always going to be very parallel and lined up with your teammates. And then from that point, you just have closest to the exit, furthest from the exit, closest to the shelving, and closest to the APC or whatever you want to call this. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the top left of the 4 spawns. That is the closest to the exit, but also closest to the shelving unit. What we're actually going to do here is turn to the left and look up at the wallpaper. There's a few factors in this lineup. It might sound a little confusing, but I promise it's not. You're going to find this dark line. It's the one directly to the left of you. If you ever get confused which one it is, just find these little stars or flowers, go to the second one and go up. So this dark line, you're also going to see that like dark brown or green mold all the way across the wallpaper. So you're going to follow this dark line all the way to the corner of the mold. So like right there, nothing too crazy. And then with this, it is a little bit different of a smoke. You're probably thinking, how the heck does this land in mid garage? Well, you're going to hold this grenade. You're going to hold D. Once you pass this overhang here, you're going to switch directions. So you're going to completely let go of D and start to hold W. And you're going to run a few steps and you're just going to throw. So we're going to tie that all together. Again, I know it sounds confusing, but I promise it's easy. Follow this dark line, tip in the mold, hold D, pass the overhang, start holding W, and just throw it. Now looking at the second spawn closest to the outside, but closest to the APC. This one, pretty similar, but you're going to look up at this panel right here in the ceiling. You're going to be able to recognize it because it's the only one that has that orange spot pretty much in the center. From that, you're going to see these little cracks that go down the right side. You're going to focus on the one that almost goes to the corner here. In that, you're going to see a break. Again, when you're zoomed in, you can't really see it, but right here where it's very thin, it's going to look like a break when you unzoom. Hopefully you can see that. You're going to go from that break down to the center of the metal section here. I know that might sound confusing, but if you do it in practice, it's super easy. Find that break, go down to the silver. The same thing, you're just going to hold D. Right when you pass the overhang, you're just going to run and throw that thing. Next, we're going to take a look at the 2 back spawns, specifically the one closest to the APC. This one is by far the easiest. You're just going to look up. You're going to see these 4 panels that are missing. All you do is go right in the center and do the same exact thing. Hold D right when you pass the overhang. You're going to hold W and run throw. All right, and lastly, we're going to look at the back left spawn, which is closest to the shelving units. You're going to look up, find those 4 empty tiles yet again. But with this one, you're going to find that vertical metal bar, follow it all the way down to the wallpaper. With this wallpaper, you're going to see this little letter R in it. At the very corner, you're going to see a dark spot. I'll zoom in to show you this dark spot right here. Put your crosshair right in the middle of that dark spot. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's pretty loosey-goosey. And just like all the other ones, you're going to hold D. Right when you pass the overhang, you're going to hold W, run, and throw it. Now, some of you might be thinking, what's the point of doing this? Because can't you, out of spawn, just run and throw it off the ground? Yes, you can. And the 2 spawns right up here have the fastest mid spawns to be able to do that. However, when you do that as a mid player, when you come out here, you throw that smoke. If you want a molly boost right after, which is very, very common to do, since you have to stop to throw the smoke and then stop to throw the molly, if the T's decide to run through that mid smoke, you're going to be caught with a molly in your hand. You're going to die every single time. So what the spawn smokes do, again, more so these 2, is alleviate that so you have your hands free so that you can throw the molly as fast as possible so you don't get caught. So, for example, from this spot here, So you can see how the molly lands before the smoke. So that's really the whole point of the CT spawn smokes. And when it comes to the smoke, you can throw that middle one, and you might be thinking, surely the spawn smoke actually lands slower. The spawn smoke and throwing it from Z just off the ground, they actually bloom at the same exact time, and I can show you that right now. Literally a fraction of a second difference. So that's really all the CT insta smoke is for, is to make sure your hands are free so that you can throw that molly. When it comes to the 2 back spawns, I could definitely see it being good if you want to make sure your mid players aren't throwing their smoke right away, so that you're able to use up that smoke, and then once the mid smoke fades, that's when your mid player, since they now have a smoke, since they didn't throw it initially, has the smoke to throw a re-smoke. And with that, guys, that is the end of the video. Hopefully you did enjoy. This video did take many hours to put together. A lot of the time was spent actually finding those lineups. So a lot of trial and error took place, and I would really appreciate if you left a like, left a comment, let me know your thoughts, share with your friends. I think all these smokes are crucial to know, and I do plan on making like a map wide roundup of all the utility, like I said in my other video, just more of the essentials, nothing too in depth, but just for the people that have never really played the map, just the real basic stuff to kind of get people started, maybe in a faster format or shorter format. So we'll see. But again, guys, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you.